Okay, so now we've got our basic sort of body piece that we can link together. It's really pretty simple. But there is one more thing we should do to it. So let me show you again one of the other ones that's been done. Let's look at this guy here. Oh, wait, I do want to save that. All right, so since we're going to put it on a 3D printer, it'd be nice if we had a flat surface on the bottom of it. So that's not hard to do at all. Let's go back to our drawing here. So what I want to do is I simply want to flatten the bottom of this out. And I want it really flat. I want it perfectly flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look on it straight on an X. Okay? And I'm going to select it. And I'm going to move it. And I'm going to move it so it's right over my axes. And what I want to do is I think I want to cut it so I just want to cut this off. So here's my Y line. Remember, I'm building my lizard along this axis. And, actually, I might want to rotate. You can imagine I did this quickly. This is taller than it is here. We want this piece to slide in right there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this just a little bit. Something like that. Okay, so that way this lines up more with the center of this. And then once again, I'm going to put it so it's pretty much right there. We're just going to cut the bottom of this off. So to do that, there's a couple ways I can do it, but this way works really well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a mesh plane. Okay? And so just like I've done a couple of times, what I want to do is I want to select this. I want to go to my wrench and I want to boolean it with a difference to the plane. Okay? And then I want to apply it. Then I'm going to delete this. And lo and behold, I now have a perfectly flat bottom. Okay? So let's take and link a couple of these together. We'll kind of get started, then we'll build the head. So all I really need to do is select this, Control C, Control V. Now it's going to put it exactly on the other one. So you'll see that when I click, I've actually got two of them. So I can just place that like that. And then I can just do Control V again and select it. And I really just need to make sure that it lines up. And it looks like I'm doing great here. Okay? So now I've got 3 body links already set. Now, of course, I can scale these a little bit. Maybe we should. I'm going to scale this one in. And I'm going to scale it just a little bit. I don't want to go too far. And let's check it. I think we're still pretty good. I might want to move that forward just a bit more. Something like that. Yeah, it's not hitting. And I'll do the same thing with this one here. I'm going to scale it just a little bit. And we're going to rearrange its movement a little bit. Something like that. Probably should bring it down since it's no longer on the Y plane, so I'm going to bring it down just a bit, like that. And now they're all set and ready to go. So if we 3D printed this, we would have 3 links. Easy, no problem. And of course we can still go and select this, and if I wanted to, I can come in here to sculpt, and I still have all the ability to sculpt all my parts that I've always had. So I can work on this. Maybe I'll use a single tool this time, because I'm going to put on there. Oh, I'll go back to my double. Looks like I've lost a little symmetry. Hold on one second. Let's figure out why that is. I want to go back to layout, Z-axis. Oh, I'm right on the money. That looks good. I'm going to go to sculpting. And I don't know. Let's put a some kind of funky pattern on it. Oops, I'm selecting the wrong one. Excuse me. Let's go back to here. layout. There we go. And of course I can change it, stretch it, make it much smaller. Let's pull it back and, we'll put some kind of cool pattern in it or whatever else. You can sit there and play with them and shape them and make them customized, add to them, put creases in them, whatever you want to do. So now let's think about making a head for the thing. So I'm going to go back over here to view. To layout. And I think what I want to do is I want to look at it again. We're building along our y-axis. So let's take and move all these back a bit. And then let's go ahead and add a mesh UV sphere. Okay? And once again, I'm going to change it. I'm going to make it 64. And I'm actually going to push it to 64. Okay, so I've got a really smooth UV sphere. And we've got the same choices and things. Let's see what I'm going to do. I think it actually looks a little big for what I've got going on right now. So I'm going to scale it down some. And the head on this guy is probably going to be more long than it is tall. Something like that. And I probably should move. I'm going to move these body parts a little further out. Okay. And now we can sit there and start messing around with this head. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to go to sculpting. And you've already been playing with this quite a bit, so I think you have the gist of it. So I'm going to go back to my grab tool. And I'm going to, I should make it, let me back that up a little bit. Make that a bigger one, because I'm really going to squish down his face like that. Got to start forming a jaw. Something like that. I'm going to pull up here, because I want to make some eye. There we go. Something like that. Push that in. Once again, we're probably going to cut this whole bottom off. Okay, so I'm going to push that back. A little bulging eye thing going. Push that in. Maybe I've gone too far. We'll give him a little bit of narrow it down a little bit. I want his eyes to stick up a little bit more, so I'm going to push that in. 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 Make sure he's got a nice, something like that. I think it's time for me to start working out a jawline so I get that figured out. We do have to make sure we get back here so we can crease in the back of this. Maybe I'll start doing that for a moment. Because we got to make that ring. Of course, that's going to fit through that hole. Alright, we're getting some shape here. Alright, I'm going to put a jawline in here. Something like this. Let's make it kind of small and tight. I'll zoom in. I'll do that twice. I'm going to do a smoothing one. Maybe smooth it again. Something like that. All right. I'm going to work on that eye again here a little bit. And actually, I can even take and put a couple small spheres in there if I want to. I can add more pieces. All right. How about some nostrils? Maybe a little tighter. Something like that. Alright, we got the basic gist of it. Again, I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time because you can spend hours doing this kind of stuff, right? So let's take now, and with our basic shape right here, let's go back to our layout. I'm going to look at it straight on X, and I'm going to raise this up. And I think I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to add a plane, mesh plane. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so I don't have any screw ups. Grab that circle, make it a little bigger. I'm going to select that and I'm going to boolean on it one more time. And then I'm going to select my plane. And then I'm going to apply. And then I'm going to take and delete my plane. And there you have it. Now I've got this nice flat bottomed head. So let's now take and add a torus. Mesh torus. And of course it's facing the wrong way again. Let's look on it straight on our Y. Let's take and rotate it. Grab the white. We're going to rotate it so it's straight up like that. Let's look at it on our X again. Okay, way too big. We're going to scale it. And I'm going to move it. And I'm going to scale it. And I'm going to move it. You can see it's quite a bit smaller than my hole, so I'm going to make it fatter. You know, that'll probably work. All right. So let's select the head. Let's go here. Let's do a boolean. Again, we're going to do a union. I'm going to select the torus. I'm going to apply. And just like I did before, I'm going to select this. And I'm going to move it. And probably it's going to leave behind this ghost. Let's delete it. And now if I take this guy and move it, something like that, and voila, you've now got your linking lizard coming together. And again, I'm rushing through this, all right? But this right here would print, no problem. And again, we can go back. Once you have this saved, you can edit it, you can add to it, you can continue to enhance it, whatever you need to do. But I think I'm going to end it with these two 15-minute videos, because already it's probably an awful lot of work to try to figure out how to do this. So I will see you again soon.